How's it going, guys? Rhino here, bringing you podcast number 3. This podcast is sponsored by Overdose of Sound. Their business is actually a pretty cool idea. They promote and advertise bands or any kind of music creators. I know some of you guys are EDM artists or fans. You should check them out. They have a site. It will be in the description. It's also overdoseofsound.com, all one word. Even if you don't make music, they have some really nice songs on the front page of their site and a YouTube channel. I highly suggest checking them out. It's a great, great website. Do you want to sponsor an episode or a podcast? Make sure to add my Skype. My Skype is ryan.pattee2. That's RYAN.PATTEE2. Add me on Skype so we can talk about sponsoring an episode or a podcast. I'm also doing voiceovers. Add my Skype that I just mentioned. If you want me to do an intro, outro, or anything of this sort, it's completely free and I'm happy to do it. Just contact me on Skype and we can talk about it there. The 3 topics we're talking about today is reconciling science and religion. Is it possible? Voting for Hillary Clinton because she's a woman. And who am I hoping wins the 2016 presidential election? Let's get down to the first one. Reconciling science and religion. Is it possible? Yes. I was accused in the comments of one of my videos saying that I said that it is impossible to reconcile science and religion, that it is illogical to say you believe in both and you can't reconcile them. That is not true. I've never once said that, and that's actually not what I believe. I believe that you can reconcile the two, and I am very happy when people do. I don't believe it's possible to reconcile creationism and religion. Creationism and science, sorry. It's not possible to reconcile creationism and science because creationism is the opposite of science. It's starting from the conclusion and looking for data to back it up. Science looks at the data and comes to a conclusion only based on the data with no bias, no agenda, nothing of the sort. It has no start except for the data. It just looks at the data and then that's it. But there are, like the Catholic Church and the Pope, they accept evolution. They are learning to reconcile science and religion, which is great. It's a great advancement, and if everyone can learn that, then the world will be a lot better place because we won't have these lunatics trying to hold society back by pushing their horrible ideas of creationism. And so, yes. I believe that you can reconcile science and religion. This is something that is entirely debatable. There are people who think you can't. And then there's religious people who say you can't reconcile science and religion. And then there's also atheists who say you can't reconcile them. I'm one of the atheists that say you can, and I believe that it is a great attempt if you do. The second topic, voting for Hillary Clinton because she's a woman. People say all the time, well, not all the time, but I hear it a lot. I'm not voting for Hillary Clinton because she's a woman. That is incredibly sexist, and I look down on the people who say that. If you don't vote for someone because of their gender, you're fucked up. There's honestly something fucked up with you. However, I also look down on people who say I'm voting for Hillary Clinton because she's a woman. That is providing some sort of superiority. You're saying that a woman would do better in that position than a man. In terms of president, gender doesn't matter. It's based on policies. It's based on what they want to change, what they want to do, what their ideas are, what their policies are, etc. That's all that matters. Gender has no play in it whatsoever. So, yes, it's worse to say I'm not voting for her because she's a woman, but it is also pretty bad to say you only are voting for her because she's a woman. If you can objectively step back and look at her policies and say, I'm voting for her because she'd be a good candidate for president, not because she's a woman. Well, I'm not voting for her because she's a woman. I'm voting for her because of another reason. If you can honestly say that, then that's okay. That's perfectly fine. I don't care. Gender doesn't matter to me. I have no care in the world about gender. There's Hillary, and then I'm pretty sure there's a possible Republican candidate who is a woman as well. And I wouldn't care who would win. I don't care if it was Hillary or this woman. Like, if it came down to the two, that'd be great. But there should be no reason why you vote for her because she's a woman. That should not play into it. Gender should not be a part of it at all. Now, the third topic, who am I hoping wins this, the 2016 election? This is kind of a toughie because I don't really know. I overall want to win. I've been asked this quite a bit, but I'm asked, which candidate do I want to win that's currently running? Things could change. They could not make it to the primary, but I don't like any of the Republican candidates. They all seem to have some sort of problem with they all seem to have some sort of problem that I wouldn't want our president to have. Numerous Republican candidates have shown extreme religiosity, which is unacceptable in a political position with power, that much power. Supposedly the most powerful man in the world should not be that religious. And especially if you say, who was it? Scott Walker, I think it was, said that he prays before every major decision. So basically he's allowing religion to affect every major decision he makes in his life. And when you have the kind of power that the president has, which isn't unlimited, there are limits, checks and balances, but when you have that much power, religion should never be a part of that. Religion should never play a role in any of the government decisions whatsoever. I strongly believe in freedom of religion. I think you are more than welcome to have and practice your own religion in the safety of your own home, or in the privacy of your own home. Not safety. Why just say safety? What the fuck? But it should never make it to the presidential position. A few have demonstrated that religiosity. A few, like Donald Trump, have expressed racism, and I am entirely against racism. I think that my French teacher actually had a poster that sums it up perfectly, and it's like, differences are not to be tolerated; they're to be celebrated. You see, I'm against racism, but I'm not only against that. I'm against a a racially blind society. I don't think we should look at everybody as one race, or not look at someone's race. I think we should celebrate our differences. Be happy, be perfectly fine with having a black friend, and be able to say, oh, this is my black friend, not just be like, this is my friend, because differences are to be celebrated. There are cultural differences which are awesome to learn about. But people like Donald Trump, who express this racism, this overt racism, is unacceptable in a presidential position, especially when it comes to decisions like border patrol and shit like that. I would be despising him. I actually don't know much about this supposed woman who's a Republican candidate. Haven't looked at any of her policies, so I don't really know about her. But I don't really like Republican presidents as much. They usually don't have very good policies, especially if you listen to what they say. So I try to stay away from that as much as possible. And then on the left, I don't really have an opinion of most of the candidates on the left right now. The only one on the left that I don't want to vote for is Hillary Clinton, actually, although it has nothing to do with gender. I wouldn't care having a woman president, and the reason why I don't want to vote for her is entirely because she's a feminist. I am entirely against the feminist movement. Well, not entirely. I'm mostly against the feminist movement. I'm an anti-feminist, and I would be very unhappy, and it could be detrimental to have someone in power who is persuaded by this poisonous movement that likes to lie about things, and is honestly for women's superiority, not gender equality, which is disgusting in itself. That should never happen. But I am against her. I hope she doesn't win. And if it honestly came down to it, if it was between her and Scott Walker, I would vote for Scott. Well, I'm not voting. I would hope Scott Walker wins between the two of them. The reason for that is, yes, it would be bad to have a religious president, but there would be something standing in the way that would prevent anything drastic happening, like him saying, oh, Christianity is now the national religion, everyone has to be Christian or get deported or something like that. That would not be allowed. That would be blocked by the separation of church and state, things like that. But he would still be able to affect some things with his religion, and usually religious presidents do a shitty job in office. Not always, but they usually do, which wouldn't be good. However, it would still be better than a feminist. A feminist should not be in office. But that's about it for the video, guys. Make sure to check out overdoseofsound.com. Make sure to leave a like and comment. Let me know what you think. Give me feedback. Give me any topics you want me to talk about in a future podcast. And have a nice day.